Hi everyone, it's Trisha Pilney here, running for Layton City Mayor, and I wanted to thank you all for following 31 Days of Layton. So today we're talking to the Ultimate Barking Lot, which is going to be a new facility here in Layton. So tell us about it. Introduce yourselves.
Oh, my name is Joe. These are my business partner. This is my wife Janelle and her daughter Brooke. And we are opening the largest full-service pet care facility in the United States. It's going to be out on Gentile, about 2700 West. And it will have boarding, grooming, daycare, training, a spa, cats, pocket pets, exotics, the full thing.
Indoor dog park.
Indoor dog park. That's our main thing. On-site vet, but an indoor dog park. It has an 18,000 square foot indoor dog park. All on the dog park and the daycare are all on artificial turf. Better for the dog's joints, paws, pads.
So as everybody knows, we're the ultimate animal lovers. Go a little overboard at times. So what has been the planning process like? What are you guys looking at opening? Are you breaking ground anytime soon, or what's the plan so far?
Well, the planning process, one of the big things that led to all this is all the online demand that we've seen for dog parks. Layton, unfortunately, Layton has had a kind of a stigmatism out there that they're not pet friendly in Layton. A lot of the parks don't allow dogs at all, even on leash, they don't allow them. So there's been a lot of public outcry for a dog park. And, Brooke, she would take her dogs to the parks, but she would drive to Salt Lake or Logan. It was just ridiculous how far she was driving to go to a dog park. We do have one here in Davis County, but it closes half the time.
Yeah.
So we got to thinking, what would be better than a dog park would be an indoor dog park. So it could be open year-round, wouldn't be affected by the snow, the rain, the mud, the sun. But it's combined with an outdoor dog park that's a half an acre. Mm-hmm. So you get the best of both worlds. And the planning of this has been, it's been a process. It's been a big learning curve for that. Mm-hmm. So we went to the city with the idea, with the plans, and agricultural didn't allow for kenneling or boarding of dogs, and so we had to get a change to the code, and then we had to get a conditional use permit to be able to open, and then now we've gone through and got our building permit and going for a final closing on our loan now.
So when do you think you'll be breaking ground and opening?
Hopefully within the month we'll be breaking ground. Hopefully within the month, let me rephrase that. Hopefully within the month we'll have our closing for our business, our final funding, and breaking ground in a month. And then around the end of the first of the year will be our grand opening.
Well, my dog will definitely be coming here. She needs all the help she can get. So you actually live right there in front of where the facility would be. So
Yes.
What is that like for you? What is your role here with you actually living right there just in the front yard essentially?
So I will be the on-site manager. So the facility will have 24-hour staff, but if there is anything that is major that staff can't handle, I'm right out my back door.
Literally
walk
right
over,
there.
Literally right my back door. Just walking over, and I can handle any situation. So I'm pretty excited. I just barely moved into the house, so I'm just warming it up for everybody.
So tell us, what has been your experience? I know you've worked with a lot of other facilities. What's been your experience, and why do you think this will be so successful for our community?
There's just a lot of, you need to educate. I think Utah's really far behind in the pet care facility as far as it goes. So education and just people knowing what exactly to look for in these care facilities, and that you need to look behind closed doors and see what's happening. And that's what we're trying to do, is no closed doors. Come see our facility. We're open with everything. We're going above and beyond getting certification to do all kinds of things: grooming certification, daycare certification, boarding certification. So we're
CPR.
CPR. Joe just became a CPR instructor. So that's something that we don't have to do, but we feel like it's better for us to do all these things and go above and beyond for the safety and happiness of people's pets.
Which is very personal
Yes.
to everybody.
Yes.
So, Joe, tell us a little bit about the amenities that are involved here, because I know what they are and I think they're awesome. But for the people who don't know, tell them what kind of amenities they get for this
Well,
facility.
it's quite a list. Let's just turn a page here real quick and just kind of show you the facility briefly.
I can take some pictures and we can add to this video as well.
So you have the indoor park here, luxury suites along the edge here. We have a store. We have boarding, grooming. We have self-wash. We have pocket pets, exotics, open. The cat area for socialized cats is an open area. It's 700 square feet of just free-range cats. And they can climb and play in tunnels and bridges and hammocks and everything for them there. We have an on-site vet. We have the upstairs is an observation deck. We can host sports here: agility, fly ball, tri-ball, you name it. Dock diving. We'll have dock diving pools. And the observation deck, which is upstairs, covers this whole area here. And you can watch the sports as they go on. If you look out the other side, you can see into daycare, you can see into boarding, you can see all the kennels, all the bedrooms. Like she said, everything is an open policy. And we believe in going above and beyond in the training. That's one of the reasons I got certification in CPR instructor, is that everyone in our facility will have a base level of training. Every single person, whether they're in the janitorial staff or the night watchman or the clerk at the front desk, will have CPR, first aid, and care training for the dogs. Then as each department, if you're in grooming, you have grooming certifications. If you're in care, pet care provider, then you have different levels of pet care training through some of the national organizations. And the thing that most people have to understand is the pet care facility is self-regulated. It's not government regulated at all. Mm-hmm. There's no requirements, there's no guidelines. There's some suggestions by the Humane Society, the ASPCA, but really it's self-governed. And so we're trying to set us up, because we see the writings on the wall with people who have had misfortune with facilities and terrible events, injured dogs and so forth. And so we're trying to set up so that we're prepared for whatever regulation comes down the pipe. Mm-hmm. We want complete training on everybody. But one of our big amenities is we have a spa where we have massage and reflexology and oxygen therapy and aromatherapy and hydrotherapy and micro bubbles and you just name it. I mean, we've got a koi pond up there for the dogs to look at.
Oh,
it's just everything has been built to make this basically a Disneyland for dogs. I mean, you have an 18,000 square foot turf dog park inside with 25-foot ceilings. Run, play. It's off leash.
So what I think is fascinating is this will be the only facility like this in the country.
Yes.
And so why did you all decide to put this here in Layton?
Well, we live in Layton. We like Layton. We love Layton. We love the people. We love our neighbors. We love the businesses here. We just like Layton. And we saw the vision that Layton had for that area. And we wanted to be a part of it. Mm-hmm. With the number of houses and businesses and condos and townhomes that are going into that area, we wanted to be right in the middle of it and provide a facility that is going to not only increase the appeal of that area, mm-hmm. but provide people with something that, I mean, if you live in a condo or a townhome or an apartment, what do you do with your dog?
Yeah. And
so we've got daycare. And the beautiful thing about the daycare that we love is our daycare is 24 hours, meaning you don't drop your dog off and 24 hours later to pick him up. It's a 10-hour daycare. But what about the people who work swing shift? What about the people who work graveyards? Where do they take their dog? So you can drop your dog off anytime, 24 hours, and daycare is for as soon as you drop your dog off for the next 10 hours.
Yeah.
And so we think that all the development that's going to go around in here, I think we're going to be perfect for them as they're heading out to Legacy Parkway or they're heading out to I-15, drop their dog off, go to the graveyard shift, go to the swing shift, pick your dog up 10 hours later.
So you talk about the boarding for dogs, the daycare, things like that. So you guys, I know we're starting a nonprofit.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the nonprofit as well.
Yeah, why don't you tell them about the one that you look brainchild of? Life is Possible.
Life is Possible. It's for drug rehab program. So I've sort of had to deal in the drug rehab if I had a son who had an issue. And it's near and dear to my heart. And I see the good that working with animals, and it's going to get a little, no, I'm low. Usually I'm pretty good about this. But
It's okay.
It's just to help, like, so it's a process where there's dogs in shelters. So the dogs are on kill shelters and they're not going to have a home. So we will rescue those dogs, and then we will have trainers that will take people in a drug rehab program to help them train the pets and get them so they will be at different levels to be service dogs and go on the different levels. And if they can't, you know, make it to that at the end of their training, at least they now are a good pet that knows all the commands, and now they're adoptable. So then we can adopt them out. But our goal is to be able to train these dogs to be service animals and help others, and then we will in return donate these dogs to families who cannot afford these pets for their children.
Because I believe
That
all
need service
pets just
pets.
want love,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they're all good, but it's the people around them or the circumstances that they, you know, adapt to, and that's what makes it so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to help in that process. We'll be helping the pet, a person, and a family.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
giving back.
And it's not just, you know, the individual who's going through rehab. I mean, sure, we could give them community hours cleaning out kennels, but we don't want to just do that. We want to teach them a life skill. We want to
Skill.
teach them how to be a dog trainer.
Yeah,
And then when they move on with their life, now they can work on their own. They can get a job with someone else. Our second nonprofit that we're doing is called Deployment Dogs. This is the one I'll get emotional in. But I was in the military and I had friends who had to give up their dogs when they got deployed. And if you rent a kennel or a bedroom, a suite for $50 a night, it's $18,000 to board that dog for a year. And if you give a military discount of 10% or 20%, okay, great. Now I'm only paying $16,000 to board my dog when I'm at E2 overseas making $20,000.
Yeah.
It's just not feasible. So what we're going to do is we have 200 individual bedroom suites, kennels, and we want to give a 20% military discount. But our discount is 20% of our kennels. So we're taking 40 of our kennels and setting them aside as deployment dog kennels, in which if you are on active orders and you get deployed overseas or wherever for 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, we don't care. We will watch your dog free.
that's amazing.
So that includes food, vet, grooming, training, whatever that dog needs, we take care of it completely. And we do that through corporate sponsorships. And that's where we're going to reach back out to the community in Layton and ask for corporations to help us help the servicemen.
Yeah. And as a military family, my husband is, he's a veteran who's been between Turkey and the Middle East. He spent about 6 years over there. And a lot of our friends, a lot of the guys that he was stationed with, they had to leave their dogs.
Yeah.
And it's the most heartbreaking thing in the world to know you're going to go home and, my last dog we had for 22 years, I would not have been able to leave him for 2 years.
Yeah.
If he was 18, 19, or at any age. I mean, it's heartbreaking when they have to just give up their pets like that.
Well, you shouldn't have to lose your best friend to serve your country.
And it shouldn't cost you 80% of your pay.
Yes.
Back to your
Exactly.
husband.
And we have a whole list of people who have volunteered to come and foster those dogs in our facility. Not to take them home, but to come over and to play with them, take them to the park and play with them and feed them and help clean up after them and all those kind of things. Wonderful volunteers who have volunteered to do this and asked to do this. And the majority of them are military families. They're the spouses or the parents of service members who are overseas. And it's a connection. And we ask them, the volunteers, to send video, to send pictures of them playing with the animal over. And it's not just dogs, it's cats, it's pocket pets. If you've got a hamster and you're going away for
Or
2
guinea
years,
pig.
or a guinea pig,
Yeah.
we'll watch your guinea pig, put him through physical therapy.
That would be funny. And you guys have cameras, you have TVs so people can log
We
in
have
and
over
see their pets.
40 circuit TVs, 40 webcams, and they're not just webcams. They're closed circuit TVs. They're security cameras, so they're high quality. But there's 40 of them throughout the facility. So if you want to see grooming, see grooming. If you want to see daycare, see daycare. They've got them in the kennels. We got them in the private suites. Each one of them has one. Matter of fact, in the private suites, we have it set up so that you can log in from overseas or wherever you are and change the channel on your pet's TV so you can decide what you want them to watch. You can also call in and Skype with them anytime,
I
day or
love
night.
that.
We also have a machine where you can feed them a treat anytime you want to. So you have complete interaction with your pet anytime you want.
So how can people find out more about you guys, maybe support on the military side, or how can they just get in touch with you, ask more questions, or whatever info they might need?
Well, we're on Facebook. You can find us, and on Facebook we're Layton Barking Lot. We changed our name because you can't copyright Layton. So we had to change our name a little bit there. But you can find us online on Facebook at Layton Barking Lot, and we also have our webpage, which is laytonbarkinglot.dog.
Oh, I love that. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. I'm excited for it
Thank
to
you.
open. I'm excited for Pepper to be able to come and have fun because she needs all the agility training she can get. But yeah, so go check out the Ultimate Barking Lot, Layton Barking Lot on Facebook. And thank you guys. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.